Am I the a-hole for wanting to reconnect with my children even though I signed away my parental rights? Throw away for obvious reasons, and honestly, I don't even know where to begin. There's so much tangled in this, and I need to get it off my chest. I, 33 am in a really complicated place emotionally, and I'm just trying to figure out if I'm the asshole for even thinking about reopening a door I slammed shut over a decade ago. So, rewind about 10 years. I was 23, fresh out of college, full of idealism, and excited about life. My best friend at the time, Chris, and I took a trip out of state for a convention. It was one of those spontaneous bro weekend kind of things, just vibes, nerd stuff, late night parties. That's where I met June, 21F at the time. She was stunning, smart, and easy to talk to. We hit it off immediately, ended up spending the entire weekend together. Hooked up, connected, and even talked about seeing each other again. After the convention, we kept in touch constantly, texts, calls, even late-night video chats. I was really starting to fall for her. But then, about a month later, she went radio silent. No calls. No texts. Just disappeared for 2 days. When she finally called, she was sobbing. She told me she was pregnant about 5 weeks along, and she was scared out of her mind. I froze. My brain went into full shutdown. I asked if she was sure the baby was mine because we had used protection, but she swore up and down that she hadn't been with anyone else. She even said she'd get a paternity test if I needed one. She told me she didn't want to keep the baby, but her sister had already told their family, and now they were threatening to disown her if she got an abortion. She was still in college and financially dependent on them, so she felt cornered. I panicked. I had just started a demanding job I'd worked years to get. I wasn't even close to being ready to be a dad. I begged her to consider abortion or adoption, anything, really. But she felt stuck and I didn't know how to help. That night, I had a full-blown panic attack. I did something I still deeply regret. I sent her a long, emotionally cold text telling her I couldn't be a father. I told her if she chose to keep the baby, I wanted no further contact. Then I blocked her. I was terrified, immature, and deeply ashamed of how I handled it. She later reached out to my friend Chris, asking him to convince me to talk to her. When he brought it up, I was shocked to find he was mad at me. He told me I was being a coward, that I helped make this baby, and I should take responsibility. We argued and things got heated. That was the beginning of the end of our friendship. Months passed. Then Chris called me unexpectedly and said June wanted to speak to me. I reluctantly agreed. That conversation broke me. She told me she was having twins. She explained that the pregnancy was high risk, but the babies were healthy. She said the hardest part wasn't even the physical toll, it was the emotional weight of me walking away. She was scared, alone, and clinging to what little support she had from her mom and sister. Her dad and extended family wanted nothing to do with her because she was having children out of wedlock. I felt awful. I really truly did. She wasn't just the girl from the convention anymore. She had become a person I admired, even mourned in a way. She asked if I'd reconsider being in their lives. I couldn't say yes. I didn't feel ready. I was still selfish, still scared. She cried and the call ended. A week later, I got an email from Chris. It was a forwarded letter from June. She said she decided to move forward with legally terminating my parental rights. She said if I refused, she'd take me to court for child support. She also wanted a paternity test conducted at birth to clear any doubts. Her reasoning? If I wasn't going to be part of their lives, she didn't want me hovering in the background and confusing her kids later. She wanted a clean break. After thinking it over, I agreed. I unblocked her and said I'd go through with it. We each hired lawyers. When the twins were born, paternity tests confirmed I was the father, twice. The court process dragged a bit, but it went through. The final time I spoke to June, she thanked me for cooperating and told me she never wanted to hear from me again. I agreed and let go. And I did let go. I moved on. I told myself it was for the best. I focused on my career, got into a few relationships, made peace with the decision. I never heard from June again, not even once. That was until 3 weeks ago. I was casually scrolling on Facebook and saw that Chris, my old friend, is now engaged. I clicked on the post. While reading the comments, one caught my eye. It was a name that sounded a lot like June's nickname. Junebug, it read. I clicked on the profile. Couldn't see her face, just a sunset photo, but it felt like her. I checked Chris's friends list and saw another profile. This one had a clear picture of June with a man I'd never seen before. His name was Rick. His profile was less private. I started scrolling, and that's when I saw them. Pictures of the twins. A boy and a girl. The boy looks a lot like June. But the girl? She looks exactly like me. My jaw dropped. I was looking at my children. Children I swore I'd never know. Children who now had faces, smiles, birthdays. I spent hours that night scrolling through albums, Christmas mornings, family vacations, first days of school. They looked happy, healthy, whole. And I couldn't stop crying. I called Chris the next day. At first, he didn't pick up. But after I texted him, he called back. We made awkward small talk. I congratulated him on the engagement. Then I just asked, "Are you still in touch with June?" He paused, then admitted he was. He told me they became friends after I blocked her, and that they stayed in touch. Eventually, he attended her wedding. He knows her husband, Rick. Said he's a good man. I asked why he never told me. He said, "Because you don't deserve to know. You signed away your rights. You chose not to be there." That hit hard. I asked him if the kids knew who he was. He said they did. Uncle Chris. He's in their lives. They know him. He's watched them grow up. I asked if June ever told them about me. He said, "No. Why would she?" Then I asked the one question I probably shouldn't have. Did June cheat on Rick? That's when the conversation blew up. He accused me of being selfish again. Said I was only asking because I'd seen their pictures. That I didn't care for 10 years, and now I wanted to barge in. He told me, "They aren't your kids. You don't get to call them that. You gave that up." We both lost our tempers. I hung up on him. Now I'm here, still staring at those photos I saved from Rick's page. I don't know what I'm doing. I keep seeing my daughter's smile in my sleep. I can't let it go. And yet I know I signed away my rights. I know I left June in the lurch. But that part of me that buried this for a decade? It's screaming now. I've talked to my lawyer. He said the agreement we signed is thorough and ironclad. He said my only realistic option is to reach out to June and ask her to voluntarily reopen the door. But he also warned me, it'll probably just cause pain for everyone involved. So would I be the a-hole if I reached out to June and asked to dissolve the agreement? Or would it be better to stay gone and let sleeping dogs lie? Because I can't tell if this feeling is guilt or love or both.